All right, let's go to advice for the week. Advice. Lady at the office wants it. Okay. Hey, Bill, I was wondering if you and the lovely Nia, if she's around, could help me with an issue I've been having the past couple of months. It has to do with a fucking lady at work. So this girl started at my office a little over 2 months ago, and I've been training her on basically everything. So we've been spending a lot of time together. Cue the porno music. All right. Now this girl is by no means a smoke show, but she is cute, and she's the type of girl who gets more attractive when you get to know her because she's pretty cool. We have a lot in common, like musical taste, and we both like the same beer, among other things. Oh, so you've obviously gone drinking, or at the very least, you've discussed, going out and having a few. You know what's so funny about that, sir? You didn't even think of that question. Your dick did. Your dick is always closing. Your dick is always in a 2-minute offense, But you got to be careful because just like Brett Favre, it will throw back over the middle for a pick six. And I think that's what you're about ready to do if you start banging some broad at work. Unless you have the skills. Let me finish reading this thing here. All right. Our job requires a lot of time on the road. Oh, God, this is just totally set up. Our job requires a lot of time on the road, so we have a lot of time to talk to each other while in the car. You're in the car. She smells good. She's crossing her legs. How many times have you gotten a fucking hard on as you've been driving with her, trying to keep up some stupid conversation as your dick's going, do it, do it. Anyways, a lot of what we've been talking about is hookups and sex and what we both like and don't like. Dude, this is a layup. You're in there. And as I could have predicted, a bit of sexual tension began to arise. What do you mean you could have predicted? Dude, don't fucking play this game with me. All right? You know what you're doing. A little bit of sexual tension that you fucking created. You're steering the conversation towards this exactly like you should be doing. This is right down the checklist. By the time I get done reading this, you'll probably fucking blow a load in her. You're doing everything you can to fuck this girl. Anyways, what didn't help the situation was one day when we admitted to each other that we would bang each other if she didn't have a boyfriend. Oh, Jesus. Dude, listen, before we go any further, I totally respect what you're doing here. All right? What I don't respect is the way you're telling it to me as if this shit is just happening and you're not manipulating the situation, okay? You're totally manipulating the situation. This is like T-ball. This is like pussy T-ball at this point. It's just sitting right there waiting for you to knock it out of the park, and it was all because of the excellent fucking work that you've done. All right? I'm going to continue to read this. All right? But I want to tell you and everybody else, don't fucking talk to me like I'm an idiot. Yeah, when I had the sexual tension because we're sitting there talking about banging. How did you get on that subject? What dumb subject was she talking about as you sat there and sort of fucking forced the conversation? Not forced, because then she would have known. You just sort of gradually, how did you do it? Did you compliment her shoes or something? That's always a good thing. You know what's a great fucking way if you're trying to figure out how to turn the topic to sex and you're not at a bar or anything, is you actually compliment another woman that walks by and be like, wow, now there's a beautiful woman. I could really, and women just find that fascinating. Why? What do you like about it? Blah, 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 blah. And you start with that as the jump off point, and then you're in. Then you're in. You're in. Okay? Just don't reach out and grab her titty in a moment of fucking reflex, though, because then you'll have a problem. All right, here we go. The sexual tension only got worse as we talked about it more, saying what we would do if we ever hooked up with each other. Yeah, first of all, this girl does not love her boyfriend, and this is over. This is like a fucking Red Shoe Diary at this point. Meanwhile, when we are in the office, she calls me from her desk to mine, and sends me email trying to chit-chat and shit and basically flirts hardcore. See, right there, dude. Right there. Right there. You just had a meltdown in the nuclear plant. It's starting to spill over. You got to get this girl under wraps. This is bad. To the point where people have asked if there's anything going on between us. You're sloppy. You're young and you're sloppy. When we're out of work, she texts me constantly, which gets a little annoying, but I'd be a liar if I didn't like it because, who doesn't like flirting with an attractive lady? You told me before that she wasn't really that attractive, but after a while, she starts getting more attractive. What, after she says she wants to suck your dick? Fuck. You know what this is? This chick is like a virus, and she's already contaminated your entire workspace. This might be beyond my help. I don't even know where you're going with this. Anyways, the situation came to a head one Saturday night when she texts me saying she wants to be drunk honest with me. I literally said, "Oh, Jesus," to myself. Why? You created this situation. And he goes, and I asked what she meant. She went on to say she wanted to make out with me because she's never felt this way about someone, and even though she loves her boyfriend, who she's about to move in with and plans on marrying, she doesn't think that making out with me is a big deal. I kind of brushed it off as a drunk text, and when she texted me the next day, I asked her if she had changed her mind, and she said no, and she still wanted to. So I asked you this, sir, what the fuck do I do? I know it sucks to be cheated on because I've been cheated on, and I don't want to do that to this dude because I've met her boyfriend once, and he's a good guy. At the same time, he's not my friend. Here's where his dick comes in to argue the other side of it. At the same time, he's not my friend, and therefore I feel I need to be loyal. I don't need to be loyal to him by not hooking up with his girlfriend. I know it'll be a sleazeball move on my part, but she's old enough to make her own decisions, and she has told me it wouldn't affect her relationship with him. Oh, Jesus, dude. Whether or not that's actually true, I won't know unless I go through with this and wait for the fallout. Exactly. Once again, she told me she wants to do that. All she wants to do is make out and not bang. But I know myself, and as a 23-year-old guy, making out doesn't quite do it for me anymore, so I know I'll try to go further. Let me know what you think. Thanks in advance. Love the podcast. All right. The question you got to ask, you need to ask two questions. How much do you like your job? And two, can her boyfriend beat the shit out of you? Does he have any felony convictions or anything like that? Because this whole thing is going to blow up in your face. This is a confused woman. She doesn't know what she wants to do. She doesn't know how to be in a relationship. She's actually using you. And you guys are going to fuck. You might not fuck the first time, but you're going to fuck. And then you're going to fuck on a regular basis unless you decide you don't want to. And it's going to get weird. This is one of these girls, no matter what, it's going to get fucking weird. So, all right. I don't know what to tell you here because I don't know all the details, but the smart move here is to not fuck this woman. Okay? People already know there's sexual tension. So if you know she has a boyfriend, they know she has a boyfriend. And you're just going to look like a piece of shit. And the whole thing's going to blow up, and it's going to be gossip. And if you have any sort of, desire to move up in that company, you're really going to fucking screw that aspect of it up. There's plenty of fucking women. You're 23 years old. You're in the prime of your fucking life. Go out and fuck somebody else. All right? And that whole thing there, she's got a boyfriend and, blah, 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 blah. I agree with you. That's not your fucking fault. Okay? But the thing about it is, what makes it weird is you're going to see this girl again the next day. And the next day, and the next day. And you know what's going to happen is, you're in your head, you can be like, yeah, we're just fucking because she said we're just fucking. And she said it isn't a big deal because she said it isn't a big deal. And you know what? She's gradually going to suck you into having a fucking relationship with her. And you're going to end up having to break up with somebody that you're not even going out with at fucking work. And then she's going to make your life a living hell. This fucking girl, not only can she not keep her goddamn legs closed, she can't keep her fucking mouth shut. She's going to talk to somebody else and the whole thing's going to fucking blow up. All right? So, my advice to you is don't fuck this girl. Have a mature conversation with her and say, look, It'd be one thing if you were single, but you're not. You have a boyfriend. I feel bad. I met the guy. You want to move in with them. You want to get married. This is the way you do. I really find you attractive. I would really love to hook up with you, but I can't. I wasn't raised that way. You just back out of it that way. And just get the fuck out of it, man. I'm telling you. Unless you haven't been laid in a while and you don't give a shit about your job, then just fucking bang her right on your goddamn desk in front of the security cameras. You know? Put your website, write it on your back. And you know what? Fucking come right in her face. Give this dirty whore what she fucking deserves. You know? But other than that, I'm telling you, the downfall of men, it's our dicks. Our dicks get us in more fucking goddamn trouble than anything else. And if you can somehow make a rational decision despite the fucking moron shit your dick is saying. Your dick is like that diva wide receiver on the football team screaming for the ball every other play, you know? And you know goddamn well it's double coverage, okay? All you need to do is just fucking wind down the last 2 minutes of the game and there's your fucking douche screaming at you. What are you going to do? You know? That's a tough one. That's really a tough one. But you know, if you're gonna break up with her, just act like you're an honorable human being, and just say, "I can't do it because you have a boyfriend." Just say it like you believe it, and then get out of it. And you watch what happens. Okay, there's still gonna be fallout to that. It just feels like weird, like you're not like talking to me anymore, bitch. Fuck you, you psycho. You already have a situation on your hands. Please, by the way, I'm actually invested in this emotionally now. I want to know what happens. Please let me know if you fuck her, if you don't fuck her, what happens, what doesn't happen, and all that. All right? Jesus Christ. Jesus, that's a fucking situation.
Anyways, it was a big week in sports.
This is how little soccer fucking matters in the United States. When Leicester City did, which is basically the impossible, they won the Premier League. And I know there's a lot of Yankee cunts listening right now, right? Basically the Premier League, in my mind, in my world, in my pasty, freckled, lonely world, I would say that the Premier League, if you're going to watch soccer, that's what the fuck you watch. I would even say fuck the World Cup. The World Cup is like the St. Patrick's Day of fucking soccer, where every douchebag who barely even gives a fuck shows up and then they fucking somebody gets puked on, right? The Premier League, that's the real shit. That is the real shit. It just sounds real. It looks real. Even when I actually, if I put that shit on, if it's a little bit cold out, you know, it feels like that shitty fucking England weather, I'll actually watch it, which means a lot. You know what I mean? Because I know the fucking people over in England, they don't watch NFL football. They think it's stupid, right? Everybody running around, you know, in shape with good dental work. I'm sorry. Anyways, so what I love about the Premier League, and I'm going to fuck this up. It's been explained to me 50 times. I just don't have enough time in my life to pay attention. But the one thing that I think is fucking hilarious is with all our leagues over here, if you're in the NHL, you're in the NHL. You're in the NFL, if you're in the NFL. You're just in there. No matter how bad you suck, you're fucking in there. All right? Like, take the New York Yankees right now in the fucking cellar. Right? I watched a little baseball this week. I just happened to catch it. I didn't even know the Red Sox were playing the Yankees. Did we sweep them? I think we did. I think that made us go into first place. Oh, am I talking shit about a sport I never watch? I think I am. I actually like that the Panda guy, I don't wish this on anybody, but he's out. So now we kind of don't really have any big free agents. I don't feel like the Yankees really do either. So I kind of like it. It seems like it's gone back. It's settled down. The roids are out of the game. All the big free agent fucking things. It's just kind of settled down. And this might sound fucked up to Red Sox fan, but I don't want the Yankees to be in last place. I want to be right there with us, slugging it out. And then the last day of the year, we give them the old right there, Fred, and then we go to fucking the playoffs. That's what I want. But I'm getting off the fucking highway here. I need to get back on here. So in the Premier League, this is I think it's the last two teams, the bottom two teams every year in the Premier League. If you sucked a bag of dicks, basically, if you just weren't, everybody was kicking the shit out of you, basically meaning they scored like 2 goals on you. And they got murdered. They lit up 2 goals in fucking 9 hours. They get bounced right you're out of the fucking league. You know what I mean? Like, say, I don't know, I'm trying to think of somebody, there's so much parity in the fucking NFL. We'll say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in the day, like when they went 0-14, boom, you're out of the league. And the Detroit Lions, you're out of the league. And then they give some other clubs a chance. And that happens every year. And I guess that's the way it becomes a Premier League. I don't know. You'd think they just take all the best guys and stick them on 30 teams like we do. But this is different. You'd think they'd brush their teeth. There's a whole bunch of things that you would think that they would do over there, but they choose not to. It's funny. I went over there. I didn't really notice any worse teeth, than they have over here, depending on where you're at. I don't know. I just like breaking their balls. And plus, I'm going to be coming over there in August, it's looking like. So I figure I might as well prime the pump by talking shit about them. God knows if I just said how much I enjoy going over there and traveling through Europe, if I said that, that's boring. So what you got to do to get people to come to shows is you got to shit on their country, right? So anyways, so after the end of the last season, 2 teams got kicked out and 2 new teams got brought in. This little ass team called Leicester City, right? Their weird way of spelling it, got brought up, and they were a 5,000 to 1 chance to win the whole fucking thing. 5,000 to 1, meaning if you put $1 on them at the beginning of the thing, you would have won $5,000. You get it? If you put $2 down, all right, you would have got $10,000. If you put 50 cents on those fuckers, you would have got $2,500. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, see? Anyways, I'm just trying to say. That doesn't make sense to me. You wouldn't do that. Or would you? Mathematically it does, but in my head I just keep thinking 5 times 1. I'm seeing a 5 there. I'll have to do it later, but I think it's got to be 2,500 if $1 5,000. I mean, shit, that's only fair. All right, so anyways, plowing ahead here. Those motherfuckers won the whole thing. I know there's a lot of people, 5,001, that doesn't seem too crazy. I guess the U.S. Olympic team in 1980 was like 1,000 to 1. And I forget what the Mets were in 69. But basically, those were the 2 biggest sports underdogs that anybody could think of in the U.S., or at least the person I was talking to. And Leicester City was 5 times that. And that was such a big fucking deal. I actually went on the internet to see reaction videos of fans of that club losing their fucking shit. And I just sat there laughing in a good way, seeing how happy people were. That's always the greatest. I don't know why that is the greatest, but it's always the greatest when somebody who just like out of fucking nowhere comes along and wins it. It's the whole Rocky story, right? So congratulations to them. Congratulations to Leicester City. That must have been insane. That's something that, that's one of those ones you're going to talk about until you're like fucking, I still talk about the Red Sox coming back in 2004. Out of all the championships, Boston has won in the last 10 years. And I can't say that, 10, 12 years. I mean, we won a bunch of them. That was the one. That was the fucking, it's the fucking Yankees. They had like 26 championships. We had one in like fucking 86 years, down 0-3. I mean, that was like a fucking, it was like Jimmy Fallon, Drew Barrymore fucking movie there, right? They actually had to throw that in. They didn't even have that in the fucking script because they were in that movie going, nah, this is going to seem too unbelievable. And then it fucking happened and they had to change the ending to the movie. That's incredible. And Oh, man, I'll never forget that fucking cop. That fucking New York City cop when we were down 03 and I was still wearing my Red Sox hat walking down the street in New York, and he fucking laughed. He goes, look at this fucking guy. Blah, 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 just laughing. And I remember we won the next game and the next, and every day I'd walk out of my apartment going right by the same place looking for that fucker, and I never saw him again. Like, what was I going to do? Point at my hat, you fucking pig, and then get arrested? I wasn't going to do that. I would have shot him a dirty look, and he would have been like, what the fuck was that about? Because I never had the balls to talk shit. You know what it was? Because I knew he was right. I agreed with him after game 3 when we lost like 19-8 or some shit. So anyways, congratulations. I always love seeing shit like that when a team like that comes out of fucking nowhere. So that's awesome. Did I ever tell you the time when I was living with Robert Kelly from Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll? Right, he plays the drummer. We used to live together, and he was such a pack rat. He used to just bring shit in off of the fucking street. And I remember one time I was kind of living back and forth between L.A. and New York, and I came back from L.A. This is like the late 90s, and he had taken from off the street the most bootleg fucking Stairmaster I'd ever seen in my life. It was, I swear to God, it was made out of like, I don't even know what, it was like, whatever the material was, it just qualified to be metal. And I remember it was white with these red stripes, and you got on the fucking thing, and it had this little digital clock, and you'd start going on it, and as you held the handles, like any sort of body weight would like sort of bend. The whole thing fucking moved, like the frame that it was on. And I remember he got it and he stuffed it over in the corner, and I just went like, I was like, Bobby, what the fuck is that? He was like, dude, what are you talking about, dude? It's a Stairmaster. I got it off the sidewalk. I got it for free, dude. You want to use it? It's like, no, dude, I'll go to the gym. Fucking gym's like $15 a month. Who gives a shit? So I remember watching him using it one time, and I was laughing my balls off because he weighed like, and he wasn't, the size he is now. I'm not trying to make fun of him here. He was 10 times the size of the thing. It looked like it was built for an 8-year-old, and he was over in the corner like, yeah, in its little ass fucking living room as I'm trying to watch this little kitchen TV that we had that was sitting on this TV VCR. Oh my God, TV VCR stand that I made in wood class like my junior or senior year in high school that I gave to my dad, and you were supposed to put the TV on top of it, and then underneath it was the VCR, and then it had 2 doors that opened on the bottom like cabinets, and in there you put all your VHS tapes. My dad took I gave it to him. He took the back off the thing, and he stuck the TV underneath it. And it was so stupid. You had to lay on the floor to fucking watch it. It was classic my dad. Like, he's just, I guess I'm like him. Like, I just see shit. I don't see it for what it is. And then people look at me like, dude, what the fuck is wrong? That same way that when I stand in front of a stove, and it says turn on the front burner, to me, it's what everybody else considers the back burner. Because the way I look at the stove is it's like I'm standing behind a car. I don't know why. I just look at it like, I don't know, maybe it's my low self-esteem, like I'm standing in the back of the line, so the front of the line's I have no fucking idea. So he took the back off it and shoved the TV under there. And I remember all my friends who, also took shop class, when they would come over my house like years later drinking, they'd be like, dude, what the fuck is the TV? And I was like, dude, I don't even want to tell you. My dad took the back off. He ripped the shelf out and he just stuck the TV down there, and they were laughing. They thought it was the funniest fucking thing ever. They went, here you go, Dad, Merry Christmas or whatever. And yeah. Just fucking, he modified it. So anyway, when I moved out, I got it back, minus the back or the shelf. And I remember it was a proud moment that I put this little piece of shit TV on top of it. So that thing's sitting on top. We got a VCR underneath it, and then a bunch of fucking tapes and shit, like Waterboy and all that stuff that was coming out. in the late 90s. And we had all these Adam Sandler movies and all this shit that was in there. So I'm sitting down. Oh, my God, let's bring it back. I had a fucking couch and like a lazy boy, but it didn't recline, that was from my dad's dental office from the early 70s. So it had this horrific floral pattern, and it was made out of this wood that weighed like 9 million. It took like 10 guys to pick up the fucking sofa. And, of course, it was busted. So I'm sitting there, right? And I'm in the fucking lazy boy that doesn't recline. And Bobby's over in the corner on this fucking hunk of shit Stairmaster. I'm trying to watch TV, and he's over in the corner going, yeah, fucking sweating and shit. And I'm laughing my balls off. He's going, fuck you, dude. Stop making me laugh, dude. Right? He's trying to go on this thing. And, is this the day? I may be combining days. I just remember going into the bathroom. And as I was in the bathroom, you walked out like this big living room. It was a railroad apartment, right? So you walk to the right. He's in the back left of the room. I walk to the right and then immediately make a right into the bathroom. So it's like a fucking hairpin turn. So I go in, take a piss, and as I come walking out, Bobby had picked up a racquetball and threw it as hard as he could to hit the wall. It ricocheted. It was a perfect shot. Ricochet. He couldn't even see me. Ricocheted off the wall, came right in and hit me right in the mouth and like split my lip a little, made my lip bleed. And I remember I had an audition to do Conan O'Brien that night at the fucking at the comic strip. And I was so fucking mad at him, and he was dying laughing because, dude, it was like a 1 in a million shot. It was literally like Larry Bird, off the fucking camper, off the house, blah, 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 nothing but net. Like, he couldn't even see me. He was on this fucking piece of shit Stairmaster he found from off the side, like, and he fucking just fired this thing. Hit me right in the goddamn mouth. So I had to sit there and put pressure on it. And he kept saying he was sorry, but I knew he wasn't. And then I had to get him back. And that's what it was like living with him. Oh, fuck, man. I don't know how I came up with that. That was a long ass time ago. I moved into that place in 1995, and I moved out, I want to say, in 2000. This fucking railroad apartment, and I had a walk-through bedroom and this little single bed mattress fucking thing, just sitting on a frame. And I remember my roommate, this Nigerian dude who was into the Rangers, played hockey and all that shit. He had to walk through my bedroom to get either to his bedroom or to go into basic railroad apartment means it's just side by side. So it went his bedroom, and then my little half a bedroom, and then the living room. Then there was a little hallway with the bathroom, and then the kitchen. And it was all just lined right up like people standing in line for some coffee or some shit. So he had to walk through my bedroom. So obviously there was a tremendous lack of fucking privacy. And I remember living there. And then when I started living in L.A., I subletted it out to Bobby, and then the roommate was cool to let me come back when I was in New York to crash there for like a week or so. We were all young guys. We didn't give a fuck, right? So it was fine. And I remember after a while, a couple years of being there, I remember Bobby telling me, going like, dude, we were talking about getting an apartment. Like, dude, we should just get an apartment. I can't fucking do this anymore. I can't live like this anymore. We were living like animals. And I remember Bobby just going, dude, I just want a door. I just want a door to a room that's mine that I can close. And I remember just sitting there, oh my God, that'd be unbelievable. Like that was the big fantasy back then. To just have a fucking door that you could close. Jesus Christ. Was that 20 fucking years ago? I guess it was. I'm an old man. How the fuck did Sean Penn interview that drug lord?
How do you do something like that and the government isn't like, hey, we're trying to find that guy? And you're sitting there palling around with them? Probably bought him like Fast Times at Ridgemont High DVDs, right, for his underground lair. Dude, I love Sean Penn as an actor, but how out of your fucking tree are you that you're going to go and interview that fucking guy? I just, I'm trying to think how many fucking stand-up specials I would have to put out before I would go fucking interview somebody in like, I guess ISIS is actually fighting, but we're fucking with them too, I would just think, I'm going to walk in there with my microphone. They're all going to laugh at me, and then they're going to saw my fucking head off. Or even worse, tie me to a chair, fucking torture me to death. That's insane. Hey, good on him. Also, I don't understand. Is it El Chapo? That's his name. He sounds like such a gentleman, huh? El Che. He's a good chap. El Chapo. I don't fucking get it, man. What are you doing? Why did he go down there and interview that guy? And like how well does Sean Penn's movies do? That drug dealer's on the run. He's on the run from our government, right? Isn't this the guy who escaped? I don't fucking know. You know what's going on is my fucking internet won't let me sign on. So I can't fucking see anything. I can't see the fucking highlights. Nothing, while I'm up here is I fucking got one goddamn channel and a bunch of Tim Horton fucking commercials, which is their Dunkin' Donuts. See if I can sign on here. Isn't El Chapo the guy that that keeps escaping from jail? Is that the guy? El Chapo. Come on, man. Come on. This connection is untrusted. Ah, Jesus Christ. It's probably some psycho from Alberta trying to hack in here. That seems like they're Texas to me when you're up here. It's all fucking oilmen and ranchers and shit. And then you got Edmonton. Edmonton seems like it's nice. You know what I mean? Like that's their like business hub. I'm totally judging these just by doing like driving through and doing a little bit of stand-up out here. Like when I did stand-up in Calgary. Great people, but fucking animals. Jesus fucking Christ. They were animals. I don't know if it's because the place that we performed at, there was like no carpeting or nothing. They were fucking, I think it was also because it was bring your own beer. Fucking animals. I would never fuck with anybody from Calgary. I saw the way they behaved when they were in a good mood, excited for a show. Don't ever fuck with anybody from Calgary. I went to Edmonton. It was civilized. Calgary. Jesus Christ. They had everything but a hooker swinging from a swing. Back in the old days with the saloons where they had the whores, way overdressed. Once again, it might just be a fucking movie thing. So much of my history is based on that. By the way, I can't get on the fucking internet, but for some reason, I can fucking, I can do it over the, I could do it on my phone. Let me look up El Chapo here. Like I said, he sounds like such a chap. I just think like that English thing. Yeah, well, Chapo, he's a Mexican chap. How Mexico secretly launched a crackdown after Penn met El Chapo. How El Chapo was finally captured again. That was 1 day ago. Will El Chapo rat out rival cartels, corrupt officials? It's got to be a lot of stress being this El Chapo guy, huh? Joaquin Guzman. I got to say, he looks like a Mexican Robert Blake, like during the Beretta years. Not when he says, yeah, that's me who's also on the phone, and then starts laughing. This is when you know you lived a fucking crazy life. This is just the front page of this guy's, if you search this guy's name. How El Chapo was finally captured again. Will El Chapo, I read those. El Chapo Guzman. Sean Penn talks about him. El Chapo had erectile dysfunction surgery while on the run. Well, that's nice to know he took a pit stop, Guy takes care of himself. How nervous was that doctor working on that maniac's dick? El Chapo speaks, Rolling Stone. Sean Penn has terrible regret about meeting El Chapo. Well, what did he think he was going to meet? He's going to get some fucking Sherry's berries? The hunt for El Chapo. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, the truth about the jailbreak. There's nothing here about an older, wiser El Chapo. Puts out a little singer-songwriter. Jesus fucking Christ. Dude, you don't realize how fucking finished we are? Just as a race. Not as a race. As humanity. That's what I'm trying to say. Just as people. We're fucking done. You know, Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone this month has Sean Penn talking to El Chapo. And Leonardo DiCaprio's on the cover. And they're billing him. He has a plan to save the planet. What are we doing? What the fuck is our government not doing that A-list fucking actors have to talk to drug lords and try to save the planet? I mean, there's got to be... How many leaks are in the fucking dam at this point? I don't know about you guys. That does not make me feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Boomer Esiason to figure out how to fucking colonize Mars. That's the next thing that they're going to have in the Rolling Stone. You know, why the fuck do I want to hear that? Can I hear a scientist? You know? How about have a Navy SEAL interview El Chapo? I don't know, Bill. How about you shut the fuck up? All right, I will. I don't know. I get unsettled. Then I have problems with digestion. I can't even remember what the fuck I was going to look up. What was I initially looking up before I got to El Chapo? Jesus Christ, some of the stories on that guy. You know, it's right up there with that fucking Rod Stewart rumor from way back in the day. Remember that one? I think it was, I can't even remember if it was Rod Stewart. Yeah, they found like a gallon of jizz in his stomach. His stomach had to be pumped. You know, a gallon. He went to Trader Joe's and bought some fucking all-natural organic I'm sorry. He got a gallon of it. You know, no, he went to, what's that place where you buy everything in bulk? Those fucking whales are pushing around those pallet jacks buying Cheerios. You got to get a membership to it. It begins with a C. It's not Cunties. What's the name of that? I never go to the fucking place. Once I had to go in there and get a membership. They wanted all this fucking information. Oh, Christ. What the fuck is it called? Not Coat Check. I'm never going to remember it. You know what I'm saying. That just kills the jokes, Bill. When you can't remember the fucking references, it absolutely kills it. Costco. Hey, he went to Costco. He bought one of those big fucking gallons of fucking jizz. And on a dare, he chugged it. Anyway, so here's something on El Chapo. El Chapo, they said, I can't remember, like, just fucking killed this person's whole family, took their kids, and somebody, this is why I don't believe it, like, took his kids and then flew them to Colombia and then threw them off a bridge. It's like, really? There's not any bridges in Mexico? You never know what to believe. But I got to tell you, when you go south of the U.S., you do not want to piss anybody off, as far as I can tell. That's some next level shit. And I can say that because I just read papers from the United States. That's just next level. Like, you know, you're mad at somebody and then, you know, how you get your revenge is just some next. I read that Killing Pablo one time. I had to put the book down like 3 times. Some of the shit they just said that the guy did. Now, I don't know if the fucking guy did this shit, but I remember one time hearing that the guy had a party. All right, and everybody's out there by the pool, standing around, you know. And what's his face there? Pablo Escobar's standing there, you know. Everybody's ignoring the weight that he's putting on as he sits there in his fucking Hager action slacks, you know. He seemed to like those. He's stretched. And, you know, still tucked him in right at the waist. You know what I mean? Tucked him right in the waist, didn't push the pants down, didn't do the fucking shirt untucked. He tucked it right in. And they said that he allegedly found one of the people, you know, one of the maids, I don't know what, allegedly was stealing. So they tied this guy's legs together and his arms behind his back, and they threw him in the house pool and just watched him drown as everyone was standing there at the party. You know? I'd say there must have been a lot of ice shaking and drinks after that one. Like,
So is this a Victorian house? Pablo? Mr. Escobar? I don't want to go in the pool. Yeah, people getting their faces ripped off. Is it torturing to death? They're like peeling their fucking faces back. This is not funny. This is not what this podcast is about. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. And I'm just checking in on you. What's going on? I am actually doing this podcast. I'm in the middle of a radio tour right now, and I have a 15-minute break, and I'm on my way to the fucking airport after that, and I have to buy Cleodio. I got to buy her some dog food, so my wife has something to feed you. Isn't that right, buddy? All right, get out of here. Go lay down, cutie. So I got a full day, so I'm trying to knock out 15 minutes before I go back to doing the radio tour, which is why I sound like I'm already off and running, as opposed to I guess I'm never chilled or laid back. So I've been doing morning radio to hype my St. Louis and Kansas City dates that are coming up. And then also I got this Canadian tour that I'm doing. And so I just been on the fucking radio all day, and everybody's just, But anyways, a couple of these morning DJs with a classic, like they just like they call you up, be like, "Hey, Bill, how you doing? So and so from K whatever, blah 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 blah." Yeah, so listen, we're going to be talking here in about a minute coming out of this commercial. Is there any subjects you want me to hit on? Anything you want me to steer you towards? Whatever I'm talking about, blah blah blah. And he's like, "All right, we'll be on right at the end of this break." And then all of a sudden it just goes like, "Hey, it's the wild guy. Got Bill Burr on the phone. Bill, what's going on?" All of a sudden you're just like, dude, what happened to the guy I was just fucking talking to? Drive time is 8:18. If you're having a rough time, we got some laps coming your way. Coming to the local yuck fuck barn. We got Bill Burr on the line. Bill, what's been on your mind? I almost said it to the guy. I'd be like, dude, what happened to the guy I was just talking to 5 minutes ago? I did, this is why I have nothing to talk about. I did Kevin and Bean this morning, and then I did fucking Mark Maron's What the Fuck podcast, WTF, over his way, and promoting the F is for family thing. I'm sorry, guys. Should I just hit fucking pause right now? Should I just hit pause and just fucking tank this entire podcast? I can't. I have to keep fucking going. Where the hell is my laptop? Is there anything to look up? What the fuck did I do with my laptop? How do you lose a laptop? I just had the fucking thing. I swear to God, if I ever get Alzheimer's, I'm not even going to fucking notice. Do you feel any different? No, I don't. Where are my keys? All right, here we go. Let's open up here. Let's get on the. Let's see if there's anything on the fucking. I'm literally going to hit pause. I got to look up a few things. This is not even a podcast. This is just listening to somebody babbling. Like you're sitting in the fucking waiting room. Or something you don't want to go. Yeah, Bill, we know. Go look something up. All right, hang on a second. Hang on. I forgot that I saw a movie. I saw a fucking feature starring Brad Pitt, Steve Carell, the guy from Drive. What is his fucking name? He's in everything. Jake Gyllenhaal? No. Is it Jake Gyllenhaal? Miley Cyrus? Wait a minute. I just saw the fucking movie. You know what it was? I didn't know it was him. He dyed his hair. And Christian Bale. I saw that movie, The Big Short. And a buddy of mine got a screener of it. And I was watching it with my wife. And she kept whispering over to me, going, "You're going to have to explain this. You're going to have to explain this. I don't know what it." It was basically about the all the shit that led up to the big fucking whatever the fuck happened in 2007. It was called The Big Short. It was basically these guys bet against the banks. They basically bet that what was going to happen in 2007 was going to happen. They did it in like 2005, and all the bankers were just like, "What are you out of your fucking mind?" That could never happen. You know, that's basically what it is. And I actually, by watching it, I ended up having a great conversation with my wife about that, because I remember when that whole housing market scandals and all that fucking subprime shit happened. There was like two schools. There was either people that 100% blame the bankers or people 100% blaming the fucking jerk-offs that got houses, you know? Like, I remember the guy who lived, like, below me, right? This old fucking crazy guy. He blamed, like, people didn't have any money that got houses. Like, he was flipping out, going, those people had no business getting those houses. They had no business getting those loans. And I was just like, well, yeah, that's kind of what you have a loan officer for, isn't it? I mean, anybody could walk into a bank and be like, can I have $1 million? Right? You're totally within your right to fucking do it. You don't give it to them. You fucking do a little bit of research. But I'm one of those, I don't have any sympathy for the bankers or for the fucking jerk-offs who fucking bought like a 4-bedroom house and their mortgage was like $80. And they didn't read the fine print that, like, you know, within whatever, 7 months, it was then going to increase up to like fucking $8,000 a month or something nuts. And they're like, oh, well, wait a minute, what happened? I'm shit out of luck. Yeah, you're a fucking dope. You know why I say that? Because I flunked everything in fucking, pretty much everything in high school. I sucked at fucking math. I had to go to summer school. Like, I should have gone every single year. I went after my freshman year, and I went after my junior year. My sophomore year, my teacher hooked me up and gave me the D-. In my senior year, I didn't give a fuck because I had already screwed up for 3 years. Was I going to go to summer school and get into Brown? It wasn't happening. At that point, I was actually considering getting into construction. You know? I didn't even know why, because I knew I was going to have to get a fucking job, and I didn't want to really have a boss. Like, I never wanted to have a job where, like, the boss was, like, fucking right there, or I had a place to be. Like, sit right here at your desk. You come in here by 8:30 and you stay put until lunchtime, right? And then you come back, you better be there by fucking whatever. What time is lunch? 1 to 2? 2:01, the guy's fucking coming around. I didn't like that. So I worked in a little bit in construction. I worked in warehousing. You know, you just had to be in a general giant fucking area. You know, there's places to hide. Not like I didn't do the job. I just didn't like people fucking... You know, I don't like people telling me what the fuck to do, you know? So, anyways, yeah, so by my senior year, I was like, I don't give a fuck. But I sucked at math, and I was able to figure out mortgages enough to at least figure out how I was getting fucked and to reduce the fuck over as much as I could. And the first time I went and I bought a a fucking 83 Ford Ranger for like $3,000. I had like $500 to my name or something. So I take all $500, I put it down in the fucking car or something like that. I can't remember the numbers. And I took out a 3-year loan, and it took me all 3 years. You know, I had like 36 payments, and it took me 36 payments. I made all of them on time, and the bank got 100% of the amount of interest that they wanted to get off a dope like me. The entire 3 years that I had the car loan, it never dawned on me to maybe not go out drinking fucking a bunch of beers that night and actually taking some of that money and throwing it at the principal of the loan. I didn't know that you could fucking do that. I had no idea. And I ended up paying a ton of fucking money in interest. So, fortunately, somebody talked to me about it, you know, when I went to go in to get a mortgage. And I still fucked up. When I first got a mortgage, I bought an apartment in New York. And I bought something that I could afford. And I could afford the mortgage payment plus a little bit more. So the very first payment, I made the mortgage payment plus a little bit more. But the thing was, I didn't put it in I didn't fill in the right area on the mortgage statement where it says, basically mortgage, and then it says principal. I didn't know that the principal was the actual, like, whatever, say I owed $100,000. You know, I didn't know that was called the principal. I had no fucking idea. So I kept putting everything into the mortgage. So within like 4 months, you know, all of a sudden I didn't get a statement for the fifth month. So I was like, what the fuck? And I'm calling the bank going, oh, I didn't get a statement. What's going on? What's going on? And they were like, oh, you're a month ahead on your payments. And I go, what do you mean I'm a month ahead? I still owe you like $100,000. It's like, no, blah, blah, blah. And by them talking to me, I realized, I went back and looked at the statements. I'm like, wait a minute. I've been paying like an extra $400 a month here, and none of it has come off the principal. It's because I wasn't putting that towards the principal. And that's when I figured out, this is what I want to fucking do. I want to pay the mortgage and then take the other money and put it at the fucking principal. Now, a lot of you are rolling your fucking eyes, but the amount of people that go in and get a fucking house and never realize that, or realize that they front end load the fucking interest. Like, even I think isn't it like if you even if you're 10 years into your mortgage, at that point you've already given the bank 80% interest. 80% of the interest that they're going to earn on the money that they loaned you. Because basically, when you buy a house, if you take 30 years to pay it off, whatever you took out, you're going to give the bank 2.5 times that. So just to make it easy, if you took out $100,000, you're going to pay back $250,000. All right? Now, for as much as the banks are not fucking regulated, for as much as they got the fucking houses back and they're going to do it all over again, make complete fucking shitheads qualified for mortgages, right? As long as if they could just educate everybody to that whole fucking game, then people wouldn't get suckered into those things. And then banks could try to do whatever the fuck they wanted to do. Listen, if you're a dope like me, if you get a fucking mortgage, isn't there a lawyer there to walk you through it? I remember when I closed, I had a lawyer, right? At least I did in New York. Look, all I'm saying is watch that movie and then don't get all freaked. Well, you should get freaked out because there's a bunch of mouth-breathing fucking morons out there. Christ, why did I watch that movie? It's so fucking depressing. Like, well, what am I going to do? 50 people are going to do what I'm going to say right now? Nobody gives a fuck, right? You go out, go out and put $50 down on a $1 million house and enjoy it and do some cannonballs into the fucking pool before they throw you out in 8 months. That's what everybody's going to be doing again within 3 years. Do I ever have anything optimistic to say about the future? It's really ridiculous. You would think. It's Christmas Eve. Christmas is tomorrow, in case you didn't know. I want to wish all you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. And, I said this last week. What do Muslims celebrate this time of year, other than the death of infidels? All right. Wait, Muslim. Well, they wouldn't have a Christmas. They don't believe in Jesus. What do Muslims do on Christmas? All right, this is NPR, so you know it's going to be nice and liberal. If it was Fox News, I wouldn't have read it. I'll tell you what they do. They plot the death of Santa Claus. All right, for many American Jews, Christmas Day means Chinese food and movies. But how do American Muslims spend their time on Christmas? Jesus is also revered as a prophet in Islam. I didn't know that. Muslims. I always find people when they're passive-aggressively racist, what they do is they deliberately mispronounce, like they say Muslim instead of Muslim, right? I just did that with Islam. I said Islam, but that's just because I suck at reading. All right. Muslims and Christians believe that Jesus is the only Messiah? Wait a minute. There's no way we both agree with that. We're fighting like this. It really is about oil. I don't know what the fuck. Okay. Explains Hisham Mahmoud, M-O-U-D, an Arabic teacher at Harvard University. He points out that Jesus' mother, Mary, is considered by Muslims to be a saint. In fact, there's an entire chapter in the Quran called Mary. And the story of Jesus' birth is recounted in this chapter, he says. This is why I think that everybody sort of was believing the same shit and we just all shut off, It's like the Zildjian factory, when they made symbols, was it Armand Zildjian? He had his kids underneath him. They all were great. And then he dies and the two had got into a fight. And the next thing you know, there was Zildjians and Sabians, right? On Christmas Day, Mahmoud and his devout Muslim family fast. Oh, God, that's so fucking smart. I'm going to be a fucking whale after tomorrow. We also relate the story of Jesus and Mary. He says we read those passages in the Quran, and we make sure the holiday is focused through and through on Jesus' peace and blessing be upon him, as opposed to feeding into the commercialization of this holiday. Jesus Christ. Is this real? Or is this guy just nervous because he's in America on Christmas? That's not to say that some American Muslims never participate in more commercial side of Christmas. All the Persians in my community went full-blown Christmas the first year, says comedian Zahara Noor Baksh. Wow, that's a fucking sick-ass last name. It ends with KHSH. I mean, my cousins even had a guy come over dressed as Santa. Yeah, I mean, that's like fucking white people celebrating Cinco de Mayo. You know, I celebrate it, and I also say, what day of the year is it? 5th of May, the douchebag. Okay, then there's the not much going on approach. No one did anything in the home of... All right. Oh, Jesus Christ. And then there's the kind of doing something, but not really approach. All right, so I guess it's a bunch of different ways to do it. I didn't think the Muslim people even addressed... Now, wait a minute. Do we address Muhammad? You know what the problem is religion is so fucking boring as a kid that you just want to get away from it as an adult. So now that shit's actually interesting to me. So it's all sort of the same people. So it's kind of like a religious supergroup, right? Where you got Lennon, McCarthy, Ringo, and George Harrison. You got Jesus, you got Muhammad, you got Abraham, right? He's the guy who led people out of the desert. And then who's the Pete Best? Who's Ringo? Buddha? I don't know. And they all kind of say the same shit, right? You know what's fucked up? The other day I was on a hike and I went by some desert plant that literally had like a stinger on it, and I hit my finger on it and it felt like I got stung by a bee like a minute later, and now my finger just in that area is black and blue. But I don't have any tingling or anything like that. So being that I'm a guy, I won't read up on it, nor will I go to the doctor. So if I die by Monday, just know it was some sort of... exotic desert plant. All right. Well, you know what? Then happy fasting. I used to do that once a week. I got into fasting for a minute. I would do it like once a week. I'll tell you, that's a great way to stay in shape. Just not eat one day out of the fucking week. You know, provided if you do it the right way. When you don't eat, you're not supposed to then just get out and drive a car and go to the gym and shit. You're supposed to like fucking chill, you know, and relax the whole day, which of course I never did because I'm a maniac. I actually know somebody that has a friend that the person eats every other day. And I got to tell you, they're in great fucking shape. You know what I mean? Okay. Well, I've talked myself into a corner. Well, listen, have a Merry Christmas. Okay. No presents. Oh, Jesus. Dear Bill, love your work. I know you will judge me and hate me, but hear me out. I've been with my boyfriend for more than a year. We are both young. Women are they're such geniuses. You know what I mean? Like, she already has me going like, no, I won't judge you. I haven't even heard what the fuck you're going to say. You know? They're brilliant. She just fucking right there, that Star Trek shit, that where they put the worm in the guy's helmet. She's in my brain. All right, we are both young, but from completely different backgrounds. I am a European from a middle-class family, while his family is loaded. And their culture is generally very generous. Don't get me wrong. I make my own living and can afford anything I want. We love each other crazily. I travel all the time and get him presents on a weekly basis. Perfumes. All right, I'm going to say that's a language barrier thing. Colognes, you mean? Shoes, clothes, you name it. I love making my loved ones happy and never expect anything. I pull my wallet out for every single dinner, and we always pay half if we stay in a hotel or travel. You're all aces so far. Why am I going to judge you or hate you? Gee, what's going to happen in the second half here? Lately, it was our anniversary. I got him a nice present, but he didn't even give me a flower. Said, I'm so sorry, I'll make it up tomorrow. She goes, I'm the kind of person who always says, no, come on, I don't need anything. For Christmas, I invited his family and friends, cooked an amazing dinner, gave every single one of them presents, didn't get a thing. What, from him too? I live far away from where I'm from, and he's the only one I have, so I felt like a kid who had been bad the whole year and woke up the next day to a Christmas tree with cold. Oh, he didn't even get you anything? I tried my best to stay positive. At the end of the day, I can go and get myself any stupid stuff I want. It's really not about things. I've never felt so bad about myself. And am I really so shallow to cry about a stupid present? But I promise it would make me so happy to know that he found the time to pass by a shop and get me a lip gloss or whatever. All right. I'm no hippie who doesn't appreciate nice stuff. I constantly give gifts to family members. We're all in a great relationship. Okay, you've said this a zillion times. I would love to hear your opinion about it. I know this makes me sound like a materialistic cunt. Not if you went and you made a dinner and bought him all this other stuff. Ah, Jesus Christ. But I wanted to keep the email minimal. You didn't keep it minimal. And I don't like how you keep going, like, hey, I'm just. This might be your problem. I know you're going to hate me, but I don't know what you're doing here. I don't want you to think I'm blah, 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 blah. You almost see, I think you need a little more self-esteem, unless this is your own way of getting me to say what you want. Well, anyways, he said he saw me sad and asked what was wrong, and I couldn't hold it anymore. I said it was Christmas time, and I did not get a single gift from anyone in this world. Try not to sound like I'm blaming him. I said my parents or brothers or whatever. He said I should be grateful for what I have, etc. I cried and apologized and said how bad I made him feel. But you got him something too? But I have a feeling nothing will change. When I was little, I would save for months to get my family something. He never experienced anything like that. He has everything you could possibly imagine. I guess presents are a norm. Receiving them, not giving them. Oh, I don't know. I really wish to get the answers. Am I a dumb, shallow person? I don't want to stop giving him presents for the essential occasions, even if he never gives me a thing. Thank you for everything. Happy New Year. If this email is even remotely true, that guy's a fucking sociopath, and you can do way better. I don't give a fuck how much money he has. If that's remotely true. I find it hard to believe that his family came over, you cooked him a dinner, you got all of them gifts, and they didn't get you anything. If that is true, and he's rich and you're from a lower class, I'm starting to think the family doesn't think you're good enough for them. They wanted to make a statement, and maybe they don't even need to. The fact that he didn't get you anything, maybe he's just banging you. Although it's kind of weird to spend the holidays with some chick you're just banging. I don't know. Something's not right. Then you're not happy. You're not getting what you want, and he doesn't. He seemed like he was a cunt about it. So I would say in 2016, move on to something else. That's what I would say. Unless he really just has fuck you money, and then you got to do what he's going to do eventually, is have a mistress on the side. A manstress. Start fucking the gardener. I would get rid of the guy. If what you're saying is even remote, that's such a one-sided fucking story. I find it hard to believe that anybody could be that fucking cold or oblivious. And that's coming from me, who's a fucking dope. But if that is even remotely true, I would just get out of the relationship. It's great. You're not married. You don't have any kids. Simple. It's a conversation. Nowadays it could be a text message. Dear so-and-so, not feeling it. Take it easy. Send. Then you change your number and just, it's over.
This is the problem I have with people who are defending the oil companies here, is basically when you go back to the 70s, okay, and you prove to me that cars they weigh more now, okay? So you're right on that one. But your logic, though, is still based in that the oil companies were telling the truth in 1976, that 35 miles per gallon was the best that we could do. So you use that as a jump-off point to then prove your point now that that's why cars get the gas mileage that they get today. is basically I have to make the leap with you that oil companies are telling the truth. That this $350 billion industry, okay, that is on numerous occasions openly got in the way of any sort of progress. I remember here out in California, I think it was the late 90s. It might have been 20 years ago. I can't remember if it was before I moved out here the first time or right after I left. The air quality out here was so fucking horrific. It's like, I know a lot of people still think it's real smoggy out here. It definitely gets smoggy, but usually just in the summertime. And it's definitely hazy out here, but haze is not fucking smog. Smog is brown. You go hiking and you feel a burning in your fucking chest. Back in the day, in the late 90s, okay? You could see this shit. So anyway, so they put this, they put it to the vote for a people, to the people who actually would vote on this shit. And they passed this bill that said by the year 2000 whatever, 25% or 30% of cars had to run on something other than, the gas, oil, basically the gas combustion engine. They basically paved the way for the big three to then basically start making electric cars. The fucking thing passed. And oil companies got together with their lobbyists and they went and they just totally dismantled the whole thing, and the whole thing fucking went away. Okay? Which, for all you people out there who are going to explain capitalism to me, I get it. That is their prerogative to do that. Why wouldn't they get in the way of that? So let me ask you this. You're telling me that they would get in the way of that, but they wouldn't get in the way of any sort of progress? Just with the gas combustion engine, they wouldn't get in the way of any of that type of progress. They seem to not get in the way of anything else. Safety, they don't give a shit about. They won't get in the way of that type of stuff. Burning it cleaner, they don't give a fuck about. But miles per gallon, which is their bottom line. Like, do you guys honestly think, like today, like what your car gets, like that's honestly the best that science can do? That is, we are right up against the fucking wall. Is that what you're telling me? Considering if they just even increased it by 5-10 miles a gallon per every new car, that they would immediately lose hundreds of millions of dollars. Why would they do it? Why would they allow that to happen? Why wouldn't they get in the way of that? That's all I'm asking here. And you know something? For all you fucking assholes out there who call me this whack job conspiracy theorist, these are my conspiracies. Bankers are fucking evil. Oil companies lie to you. And insurance companies are pieces of shit. That's basically my three. And that they have enough money to basically buy elections. That's basically it, okay? Those really aren't groundbreaking conspiracies, are they? I'm not saying there's some guy living in the fucking moon. I'm not saying I saw a fucking flying saucer come out of the goddamn ocean and fucking take a piss on somebody sunbathing and then, I saw Ronald Reagan waving out the side of it and then it took off. I'm not saying that shit. I don't buy it, okay? And I actually got emails from people. They sent me these links. They sent me this link of this fucking kid, 14-year-old kid with one of his classmates, built this futuristic-looking Jetsons car, and they got close to 2,000 miles per gallon. I'll send you the link to this. You can go on the MM Podcast and look at this thing. The MMPodcast.com. Look at the picture of this thing. Okay? And once you're done saying, well, it's not a practical car, it's not as heavy as the other ones, it would never meet the safety standards, and yada, 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 all that fucking shit. Do you honestly think that airbags, navigation systems, crumple zones, and all that, you're honestly going to tell me that basically knocks off 1,900 miles per gallon? Are you really going to fucking sit there and tell me that you honestly think that they're not? Why wouldn't they get in the way of it? They have the money to get in the way of it. And not only that, they're not even part of this country in a way. They're borderless. They're worldwide. I don't know. So I respectfully apologize for not fucking looking up the weight of the car. I was 100% wrong in that, but I still do not think that I'm wrong or I'm fucking paranoid.